Hey everyone, it's common knowledge that people enjoy watching miserable stuff online, but there are points when I see someone popular on YouTube or TikTok, and I just can't see the entertainment factor that makes so many enjoy it, despite how grating it is. And by far, the people that tend to be like this the most are people with mental issues, like Christian, where their fans became so infatuated with them that they became the most documented person on the internet. Now, I don't want to sound like a hypocrite, because there is an undeniable aspect to people like them that make them interesting to watch. But with TikTokers like World of Shirts, it's hard to imagine myself sitting back and watching his lives for hours on straight. I mean, they're just depressing, because you're just seeing someone make it day by day by just drinking, with people throwing roses at him so he can buy him more drinks. And even if you do enjoy watching him, I swear to God it's impossible to see him chug a bunch of drinks without even flinching. Because me personally, I just feel like I'm getting nauseous.
I'm not gonna drink so much.
Yeah, they're asking for coffee and boba reviews.
Coffee and boba reviews.
I'd like to do those again. I'm not gonna drink.
And that would you want to run with Evan?
Yeah,
He looks so much like Spidey Turan. I miss that guy.
I have one of my.
Yeah, they just said Russian and Turkish bathhouse.
Russian Turkish bathhouse.
I'm not gonna drink as much anymore as I used to.
Tell them that. Tell them that.
I'm gonna cut down on my drinking significantly.
You promise?
Yes.
Joshua Block, also known as World of T-Shirts, is down bad. If you want a full recap on what Josh has done, I'm linking my last video that I made on him now. But all you
I'm watching this one.
is he's a TikToker in his mid-20s who's been traveling around the world. He had a couple of TikToks that went viral.
Has he? I thought he was only inhabited to New York.
But one thing I failed to touch on more in depth in my previous video was Josh's alcoholism. When I made my first video, it seemed like Josh was drinking a little bit too much, but when you're in your early 20s, you know how it is. I didn't know just how bad it had gotten until I had seen one of his more recent videos.
I love that hat so much.
As I was looking through TikTok for new video ideas, I stumbled across a clip of Josh throwing up in his mixed drink, and then he continues to drink it. This led me to looking at what Josh had been up to recently, and all you have to do is look at the front page of his TikTok. 90% of his newest videos are him either drinking, showing you a local site, or just drinking. It has gotten so out of control, there are dedicated TikTok pages to tracking how many drinks he has had every week. But I'm getting ahead of it.
The most bare bone knowledge I have on him is that all he did previously when he wasn't drinking this much is just go around New York asking people questions. So I'm guessing when that is your main source of like entertainment, you don't really have any other avenue apart from just drinking.
I wanted to start this video off by showing you guys a clip of Josh recently. I feel like it paints a good picture for people who don't know his full story as to just what he's like. And of course,
he really has that look of a kid that wants to look cool drinking.
Sheer ego and narcissism. While hosting one of his now infamous New York tours, an IRL live streamer by the name of Mr. Based came up to Josh.
The name sucks.
Josh, being the businessman that he is, told Mr. Based to scram, and when he didn't, he threw his beer all over him.
Oh my god, yeah, I remember that being another part where he got angry at everyone for just recording him, even though he was recording them.
I'm not coming on your event. I didn't take...
You have to leave!
And you're a very large TikToker.
You have to leave!
I'm on my knees. Please help me. Please help my channel.
You have to leave!
I'm begging you, help my channel.
Hey, come on. Get out of here, man.
Get him!
You didn't pay for this event, man.
Get him!
This is like that one GTA 5 clip where a guy goes to a car meeting and everyone yells at him.
Walking home. Oh my god! He just threw his drink on me! Alright, now you've got problems, young man.
Oh my god, he was hit by a car.
Get over here! You're gonna apologize to me! You're gonna apologize!
Incredible things are happening in New York.
You little bitch!
Josh has always done stuff like this. He will yell at someone for recording him in public, and then after assaulting them or damaging their property in some way, he runs off screaming as people chase him. Ever since he blew up on TikTok, his ego has been absolutely out of control. To Josh, you are a second citizen in New York City. Whatever he's doing, no matter how small, takes precedent over you. And somehow, he always manages to squirm out of responsibility. already. If Mr. Based wasn't so based, he could have pressed charges on Josh for that, as well as the guys whose van he kicked. World of T-Shirts truly carries himself like the King of New York, and every king has their crown. To Josh, it is his captain's hat. This
good. He's the captain now. That was one thing that always struck me weird is when I first watched him from other videos, is that I'm not gonna dodge around it, but he is like somewhat mentally disabled. So the idea of him getting popular in a city that I'm not sure whether he lives in or close to in New York, but it felt like he all goes by himself with no parents or friends to take care of him. He does have like free range to do whatever he wants. And that's even worse when he gets like a big ego from getting popular on TikTok. It really is like the online equivalent of people like egging on a kid in high school to do like stuff that just ruins them, but they don't care because they find it funny.
This captain's hat has probably been to more nations than you and I combined. It truly is a part of the World of T-Shirts lore at this point, being the only hat that he wears in his videos. So he holds it in pretty high regard, and people are always trying to steal it. Usually
in his defense, I'm pretty sure I read something about him. Before he was TikToker, he used to be a Navy general in the army.
Josh retrieves it, everything works out fine. But this does not stop World of T-Shirts from having an absolute meltdown over these incidents, made increasingly worse by Josh's constantly drunken state, being much less aware.
There's no way that Celtic's that good.
And much more vocal in his cries for help.
No, see, there was just some asshole being like, be louder in the comments. Hold on. Yeah, just be louder. And I'm guessing that 10 is like a donation he made. So yeah, just fueling him to be more annoying.
I have every right to curse because I'm being taken advantage of. That guy tried to steal my hat again.
Oh my god, he sounds like a goat being skinned alive, screaming bloody murder. In his defense, I think the only thing he has that holds any weight to him is his TikTok and his dad hat. Oh yeah, someone now. Good.
Help! Give it back! Please!
He seems like one of those skinny guys that could run incredibly fast, so it would be scary.
Help! Help! Please give it back! Please! Please! No! Give it back! Help me!
I just saw someone say it's $10 on Amazon.
Oh my god! Oh my god, he did it!
You guys ever be hanging out with your friends on the porch at night, you know, smoking a cigarette or having a beer or something, and you hear what sounds like a violent murder occurring only a block away? It's really a 50-50 coin toss, because half the times, it's some shit like this. Someone who's had
I would be more scared of someone getting their hat stolen than seeing someone murdered.
You can't tell me that hearing this outside in the middle of the night wouldn't send a little shiver down your spine. I do not condone the hat snatching in any way, it's not cool. While the guy is an egomaniac, he still does have some mental problems, and stealing his stuff isn't cool. Just want to put that out there. I showed you these two previous clips because I think it gives us the perfect foundation as to Josh's current personality. As egotistical as ever, and as drunk in public as ever. It has been a very long time, I'm talking months, since Josh has been sober. Every single day, he drinks tons of alcohol, getting the majority of his calories from it. Josh has always been attracted to alcohol. It seems
I feel like in New York City is the one place where if you rely solely on alcohol to have some energy, then you will end up dead on the sidewalk one day. I mean, that one clip he showed it snowing, so I'm guessing that clip was like from last year, which is even worse because if you're drunk and it's getting cold, imagine New York is pretty cold during the winters, so him just stumbling around with no one to like take care of him apart from like the people on his TikTok live, egging him on to do even more dumb shit, then he probably isn't, you know, 100% safe. He reminds me of this one French TikToker that I hate so much, where his content is purely him yelling in random places. So I feel like if he just one day starts getting like really annoying, someone just will just beat the shit out of him. Like I would not be surprised if he got punched in the back of the head and that ended up killing him, because that can happen. So he feels like the perfect person to be in that situation with all of the
He has
combined.
managed to make a career out of combining these two things. And I didn't realize until just recently how much money this guy was making. You think King Cobra JFS has been rolling in it ever since he got his super chats back? Jesus Christ, Joshua Block is on a whole nother level. He will spend your average car payment on drinks every week. He'll stay in nice Airbnbs overseas for weeks. Turin Spidey, another IRL streamer, does something extremely similar, but sometimes he's sleeping out of a tent. The amount that Josh rakes in on Cameo and these tours well pays for this habit. And make no mistake, when you go on one of these tours, or when you pay Josh for a cameo, you might as well be putting a drink in his hand. When Josh says that he lives paycheck to paycheck, he's not kidding. He makes good money.
Oh, what paycheck? Oh, I'm guessing TikTok sends you money monthly, so that makes sense.
It is all because of the drinking.
Is that Hennessy?
Because now the World of T-Shirts brand is heavily associated with drunkenness. If you go on one of these tours, one of the stipulations is that they will buy you...
You know, with all the people like next to him filming him, he really is seen as that one like freak show guy in a circus, just going around having people record him.
Every single one of these tours Josh is doing, he's drinking while currently doing them. There's at least one bar, if not two, included in the tour. This would be completely different if he wasn't drinking like this every single day. And it's been like this for a while, guys. I don't know how I missed it in my first video, because this has been going on for years. It seems like the
Ever since he was born, years.
when Josh was 18 and he took a trip to Mexico.
Oh, fair enough.
For those of you who don't know, the legal drinking age in Mexico is 18. Josh went there solo, getting publicly drunk quite a bit. This had people on the edge of their seat.
It is a miracle he came back with his head intact. Oh my
Forgive me if
god.
I'm wrong, but Josh sticks out like a sore thumb in Mexico. Josh is not visiting a resort. He is going out and walking the streets of the towns. And being drunk in public...
If you went to Mexico purely to drink, why wouldn't you just go to the airport, get drunk, and then come back to America? Why would you stay in his town or city?
Is this interest in the Mexico trip that he got that led Josh to make drinking a staple of his channel. That, and of course, the social ease that it brings. You see, Josh has autism, and it seems like people with autism are more likely to be alcoholics. It makes social situations a lot less stressful, and of course, opens you up. In the beginning, I'm sure it was great for Josh. Brought him out of his shell, he got some interesting footage, but like most addictions, it got more and more extreme as time went on. But there was a clear shift in Josh. There was a point where you could tell that it went from him just having drinks out in public, having fun, to a true need. And I think that that really began around the time Michael Quinn came into his life. For those of you who don't know who Michael Quinn is, I'm going to keep it very short because the man thrives off of clout, either negative or positive. But the first thing you need to know is that he is probably the most hated character in the World of T-Shirts universe. No matter how you feel about Josh, almost everyone can come together around a general disdain towards Michael Quinn. He is this 60-something...
Am I gonna have to watch like an hour-long video explaining the law? Like one section of this law.
Setting up the World of T-Shirts New York tours. And it is very obvious that he is heavily manipulating Josh. And
Oh, he's like a manager.
Mike Quinn
What does he have a manager?
often be seen drinking with Josh in public and using him to cozy up to random people. And that's all I have seen, a relationship where a person is used. There is no give and take. Michael Quinn has almost nothing to offer Josh, and attempts to publicly come off as a guardian-like figure for him. You see, Josh has no...
I really want to know who his parents are. If a manager has to come in and take care of his business, I want to know where his parents are residing.
Somebody. It's a shame that he found Michael Quinn, because I think that it is this ego he has absorbed from Quinn. Michael Quinn might be one of the most egotistical and narcissistic people I have seen on TikTok. He will go into a bar by himself, fire up a live, and then start using the comments section trashing all over him as an excuse to talk to people. It's always very awkward, very cringy, and centers around him being some rich millionaire that owns a hot dog stand. It's all lies. Mike Quinn has never displayed any proof for any of his wealth, and it seems very evident that he is using Josh to try to launch his social media career. He doesn't care one bit how Josh
that has to be the worst avenue to get popular for.
Looks in the public eye. The massive amount of criticism that he has received in the past.
Dude, I'm starting to feel sick from all of the drinking he's showing.
Stopped drinking multiple times, only to later that week start up a live stream with Josh at a bar. Quinn has convinced him to say racial slurs in the past, records him when he is at his most intoxicated, and is the definition of a clout chaser. While Michael Quinn has
I understand why you get angry at him, but how can you keep on tapping on his live to see him more drunk? Like, surely after like the third or fourth stream, you'd be so miserable of seeing him have his life get worse that you'd be like, I can't do this anymore.
Telling people that he's gonna get Josh help, that Josh is truly cutting down on his drinking. Josh would reveal to us that he's slamming 100 proof banana shooters for breakfast.
Oh my god. His liver must be in good condition.
They're very good. Don't tell me what to do. I'm the captain of the ship. You do what I say.
I want to see Somali pirates like board this train and shoot him back to the head.
What do you mean on Tinder? I went on Tinder. It says your account's been banned. What does that mean?
That was Josh early in the morning, off those 100 proof banana shooters. This video was recorded after Michael.
Oh, is that what they're actually called? I thought it was like a funny nickname for those drinks.
On his drinking. Michael Quinn is doing jack to help Josh's alcoholism because he knows that it's a major selling point for the tours, the cameos, and Josh's content in general. While I'm not a
That's a really good point. I mean, at this point he seems to be so far off the deep end, you really can't convince him to stop drinking. But at the same time, you can't really see him as a good person for like standing by, making money off him, barely doing anything, and being like, yeah, I'm trying to help him, like, you know, stop on the drinking. And then, yeah, just start up live that same evening, showing him like pass out on the floor from drinking too much. It's scary when you're this independent and that mentally unstable that the only person you're really connected to is this random guy you met on TikTok who's like your manager, but he takes like the worst care of you. In this video, he might bring up like the relationship between him and his parents, which I imagine might be rocky, so that would explain why he's struggling so much.
For what he did to a fish, him being manipulated like this by Michael Quinn, who I dislike far more, turns my stomach. Michael Quinn is beyond grown. I'm pretty sure he's either in his late 50s or early 60s. The guy's old enough to be Josh's grandfather. And if he really was the millionaire that he claims, he could get Josh some help. Because the drinking is absolutely out of control, guys. It's time that we finally get into the alcohol consumption tracker. This is going to show you just how much Josh drinks on camera.
We have 10 documents explaining how much he drank over the past week.
Banana shooters when he wakes up. So these numbers I'm about to show you are most definitely lowballing it. A massive shout out to World of Alcohol Tracker. If you guys are trying to keep up with just how much Josh is drinking, there is no better place than World of Alcohol Tracker on TikTok.
God damn, I respect the man. I would shoot myself in the head if I just spent my life tracking someone's like alcohol consumption.
He does daily recaps of Josh's drinking, and then at the end of the week, he puts together just how much he drank.
I feel like there's at least 20 people working in one center tracking his videos.
Us all this service, so go give him a follow. What I'm about to read to you guys is at the time of recording this video, Josh's previous week of drinking. If you remember the beginning of the video where Josh said that he was going to cut back on his drinking, then I think it's pretty important.
12 drinks sounds pretty like what do you call it? very broad, but even then, that sounds like a lot.
11.93 drinks per day. As we've seen before, Josh will not always finish his drinks, and I think it's pretty important that he calculates the half drinks in there too. 11.93 drinks a day is already insane. That's
now, how much iced tea has he been drinking?
But we also have to keep in mind that this is just what we're seeing on camera. Josh has proven to us before that he's drinking off camera too. So I'd put it more in the realm of 15 or 16 drinks per day. Total amount spent on drinks this week, $339. That's $48.43 a day. He's spending over $1,200 a month on alcohol alone. That's more than some people's rent. A lot of these are high sugar, expensive drinks at bars in New York City. But currently he's on a trip.
Oh, New York City probably like skins you for the price of alcohol. Yeah, that's even worse.
This one's gonna be shocking, guys. Total calories consumed from drinks this week, 12,300. 1,757 per day. Damn near reaching the daily recommended amount of calories just on alcohol. As you all have noticed,
at least that's good. At least he's not losing weight, so I'm glad.
This is how he's getting the majority of his calories. And with him drinking all these sugary mixed drinks, it's just a recipe for diabetes in the making. And if he can...
Nah, he's a thin boy. He'll be fine.
In his adulthood, when his metabolism slows, I think he's going to run into some real problems. This next one is also very interesting. His max blood alcohol content, which would be the drunkest he got during this whole week, 0.23, which is actually not as high as I expected it to be. It makes sense though because Josh is on a trip. He needs his wits about him. Still damn near 3 times the legal limit. And for our final statistic, I find it most fascinating. That would be hours sober. The amount of hours Josh spent the entire week sober, coming in at 40 hours, or 23.81% of his life. One of the top...
I love when he's drunk, he's like not like conscious enough to not be a moron, but he still knows how to like start a TikTok live, so that's good.
Of alcohol tracker video absolutely blew me away with its insight. Josh putting in 40 hours of sobriety in a week. That's a full-time job, so his job is being sober. And keep in mind, guys, that's being generous. I know I sound like a broken record at this point, but Josh is probably drinking just as much off camera. While I haven't seen it myself, I've heard many people talk about him getting the shakes when he's not drunk. This is a telltale sign of alcohol dependency, and it's a very dangerous thing because if you stop drinking cold turkey, chances are you could die. Your body becomes so used to having that poison in its system, when it's suddenly taken away, it's a shock. Josh has already drank himself into a corner. It seems like now he's going to require professional help to kick these habits. And without a strong support system, hell, he doesn't even have a support system at all, it's very unlikely that he will kick these addictions. Michael Quinn doesn't want to help him get better. It would impact their popularity. Josh doesn't want to get better because he sees no problem with destroying his body in this way. It really seems like the only people that want him to get better are the people in his TikTok comments sections. And though it might help, it's not gonna be enough. That's all I have on Joshua Block today, guys. Thank you so much for watching. In my previous video, I didn't touch much on the alcoholism side of his story, so I wanted to come back and remedy that, as well as show you guys some new clips. I can't thank you enough for watching, especially till the end of the video. That always helps so much. A massive thank you to all my channel members. Thank you guys for being the backbone of this community and for all of your months of
I think that's basically the end, yeah. Some people do like saying their Patreon as well, which is nice. But that is terrifying. The idea of him like having like huge sign off being dependent on alcohol to the point that he's shaking, that's terrifying. I mean, if he's gone that far, the only possibility I can imagine is just someone like his fans trying to help him like get sober, but that would be like putting a leash on a chimp. Like he would just get rabid from people telling him to stop drinking. And whether or not he does get sober for good, if that like content flow just stopped out of nowhere, then I feel like that manager Michael Quinn would probably just leave him. Which, you know what, fair enough, smart guy, if your main source of money just stops out of nowhere, you might as well just leave New York City and just go somewhere else. themselves and take advantage of the next autistic guy on TikTok to make like a money from. Which, even though I'm joking, that probably is the best option for this guy to stop drinking, because he doesn't care about him getting better. And even though there are people in the live yelling at him to like stop drinking and get some help, they will always just keep on watching it and maybe giving donations. So there really is no reason for the manager to stop doing the live from his like perspective. So in general, the best outcome is to just slowly get help, but at the same time, just because it's bad doesn't mean it's like realistically possible, which I know sounds very negative. I feel like with someone like him, there's a very small chance of them out of nowhere realizing like they have an issue and they need to get help, or it's gonna get worse and worse. Hopefully there will be like a few fans in New York that do find him and convince him to get some help, as opposed to people like shoving their phones in his face when to record him, which if you do that, you're a good person. That's all I have to say. God bless you.